All right, I'm here with my brother, Aaron. We just got back from a badass trip from San Francisco. First of all, thank you for the trip. Never would have been possible without him. I just want to make a quick video about dressing well, hair, beards, and traveling.
All the things we know.
So we just had kind of an epiphany. I just got introduced to Aaron's friend Nino that he met in Australia, who was an absolute badass, alpha male, if you will. And he is starting his own fashion video. In fact, I'm about to post a video of me and him here pretty soon. I did an interview, but he really opened our eyes to dressing nice. What did you say?
Oh, absolutely.
In fashion. So, what do you think about that?
Well, I spent a lot of my life thinking that fashion is stupid, that it's an overrated concept, just, that some Italians somewhere decide what everyone's going to wear for the season, and then everybody goes along with it like sheep, and, that's always how I approached it. But Nino really kind of opened my eyes, made it sound like something that doesn't have to be that way, it doesn't have to be shallow, it doesn't have to be a horrible thing, it can actually be quite beautiful. Nino's actually starting a startup. Don't want to go too much into it because it's not my story to tell, but he is sourcing suits from Vietnam because they can be made cheaply over there, and quality suits like Australian merino wool, and then he's going to import them to the States. And every time someone buys a custom suit online, he's going to donate a package of clothing to a child in need. And I thought that was fantastic, just because a lot of the time you hear about things in the fashion world that are not beneficial to anyone. A lot of people don't give back at all. And that was awesome to hear what he said.
Really, really great. Yeah, he introduced us to this idea of your wardrobe being a toolbox,
Yes.
And his business partner and co-founder of his business, Suited Well, goes to the inner city and even teaches this to kids, the idea of your wardrobe being a toolbox for all the things you need in life. And it's been said before, I know that your appearance and your charisma and your energy are the first things that people judge you on when they meet you. I mean, I just heard Kevin Hart say in an interview that your clothes say a lot about who you are too. So in the way I look at it, you'll really never be able to predict running into the woman of your dreams or running into a future business partner or someone famous or whatever. What you can do is prepare for that situation. And it's super awesome trip, super awesome experience. I already like dressing nice, but I really didn't understand the level of just how important dressing nice is. So. With that being said, I think it's also important to be well groomed. Even though we can't really talk right now, can we?
Not at all.
So, yeah.
We didn't have a chance to shave. I mean, I haven't shaved in more than a month, but we didn't have a chance to shave on the trip. But to me, there is something very spiritual about traveling and not shaving. I never shave when I travel. I've taken a lot of trips in my life, and whenever I'm backpacking or going around somewhere, I never shave. One, because it's an added hassle. But two, it just feels like something that I can control on the road. It's something that I do for myself when I travel, so that when I come back, I can see how much time has passed. And then when I shave that off, it's a rebirth of sorts.
Right. So time and place in that situation, you don't really have to shave or whatever. But I think beards are awesome. It's just important to trim it up and be well groomed, even though I'm not living that lifestyle right now. But beard or no beard, you just gotta have new experiences, I guess is the key.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a chance to shave either. But that kind of ties into what we want to talk about, this idea of guys having long hair. Obviously that's in right now, it's popping, you see it everywhere. And that's not necessarily a reason to do it, not at all. But I definitely think that it's something that every guy should try, experience it. Me personally, I enjoy the freedom of having long hair, even though maybe it's a little more work. The freedom of what you can do with it, right? What would you say?
Not just the freedom of what you can do with it. I mean, I don't do very much with it. I shower, I keep it in a ponytail or I keep it down, but it's more just having it is really what I like. I think a lot of it for me comes from the fact that even though it's not a rebellion now, it was a rebellion in the past, and people have almost fought for this. And nowadays, it's so accepted, it's so out there. But a couple, 40, 50 years ago, your parents would have been like, "Oh, no rock and roll, cut your damn hair."
Yeah, it's great to see something like that, even in a small way, but just being progressive. And that's not to say that if you have short hair, you're not a progressive person, but it's the same concept as being accepting of like gays and all different races and things like that as well.
Absolutely.
But I personally love the fact that you have way more options. I think the biggest question, when I see a guy with long hair, at least I just think to myself, like, that's interesting. Like, that's at least interesting, more interesting than just having a short haircut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or something that stands out. You know what I mean?
Plus, I mean, it takes less maintenance. Like, you don't have to go to the barbershop every week.
Yeah.
Get it trimmed up, get it clean.
Shit, I've saved a lot of money not having to cut my hair, and that's a relevant point too. But I think that really the most important thing, maybe you can agree, is do girls like it?
Absolutely.
And I would say, like, for the most part, yes.
Yeah.
As far as me, like, personally, like, I don't know. It's a paradox because you really shouldn't care if they do or don't. I have made girls that don't like long hair on me. Just because, something that Nino opened our eyes to, he's talking about an outfit, but I think this applies to your hair, is that 90% of an outfit and your whole appearance is the way you rock it. If you're confident and you're like super all about it, I think girls are gonna pick up on that and dig that right away.
Well, when I was in San Francisco a couple days ago, we were in this really cool shop called Handsome Oxford that sold vintage clothing. And I've, once again, never really been into fashion, never really thought about what my style would be. I'm just t-shirts and shorts all the time. And I was trying on some plaid, and I was kind of looking at it in the mirror. I was hesitant. I was really thinking, like, can I pull this off? And Nina was like, yeah, you can pull it off. You can pull off anything, just as long as you wear it with confidence. If it is your style, it becomes your style.
Yeah, exactly. I think that it translates to hair too. So, like, you could really rock any hairstyle you want. If you're confident in it, girls are gonna like it. I think what girls really are saying, if they say they don't like long hair, is they don't like guys who either, one, probably don't take care of their hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or two, they just are not confident with long hair. They're like, do you like it? Like, I'm trying it out. You know what I mean? Tell me what you think. No. It's like, no, I have long hair. You better accept that because this is who I am. You know what I mean? Like, now, you should never do anything because a girl tells you to, and especially with hair. But I think the last thing that I want to say is that what really I think is when we're talking about girls is that I think what they can appreciate about guys having long hair is that it's number one, it shows that you're not like just like every other guy. You know what I mean? Even though long hair is in right now, you don't need to follow a traditional path, and you want to try your own thing regardless. But number two, the fact, in its direct symbolism, the fact that you're taking care of long hair is, wouldn't you agree, symbolizes that you would take care of a woman, right? In a good way, like you would take care of, the fact that your hair and your whole entire appearance is something that you need to maintain every single day and keep up with. I think is direct symbolism to, like, translating that into a relationship. Like, later down the line, like, if a girl wants to be in a relationship with you, I think that would symbolize that you're going to take good care of her.
To add to that, I would say it also takes commitment.
Commitment, right? Yeah.
We grew our hair together when I was in Australia.
True.
I left. I said I'm not going to cut my hair. You said I'm not going to cut my hair either.
Right.
And we grew it together, but it was actually a fairly long road for me. Like, there's some awkward phases on the way to long hair. Like, there's the middle phase where everything's just surfer and moppy, and you can't you don't know what to do with it because you can't tie it back yet, and you have to wear a hairband. But once you get to that point, but it's an act of commitment, and it takes a lot of frustration. It takes, employers will tell you to cut it, and you have to say no, and 9 times out of 10, they're not going to fire you for that. But I mean, I would say, like, if there's a moral of this story, it would be that anything is yours if you own it. If you decide it's your style, you can make it your style. If it's your phrase, it's your phrase. Whatever you want to say, whatever you want to do is yours if you own it, no matter what anyone says.
Love that. Love that. That's awesome. So that's about it for today. The floor is yours, Aaron. You're my guest. What do you want to say to YouTube?
Own it.
Nice.